To get started with our color application, I'm going to create a new folder and I'm going to call it simply color app. You'll see that I'm using a lowercase c and a capital A. This is called camel casing, where the first letter of your first word is lowercase and then every subsequent word has a first capitalized letter. So I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to create an HTML file. I'm going to call it index.html. And I'm also going to create an app file, and I'm just going to call it app.js. So to get started, I'm going to create my boilerplate HTML. I'm going to say exclamation doc type HTML. I'm going to create a head. And a body. And then inside my head element, I'm going to add a meta tag. Sometimes you'll see this with a closing mark. This means that it's self-closing, but you don't really need that. Also, I just realized that I am in the app.js file and not in the HTML file, so that would not work. Just copying and pasting that here. I'm going to indent this so that it looks nice. And I'm going to say that this is going to have a character set of UTF-8. I'm going to give my head a language. I'm going to say English. And then inside the body element, I'm going to give it a script tag. And I'm going to say that the source is my app.js file. These are both very generic names, index.html, app.js. They're really common names that show that these are the main entry files, or the main files that the computer is going to access your application through. So to make sure that our JavaScript is correctly linked up to our HTML, I'm going to write some simple code to create some elements in our HTML. So I'm going to create a variable. I'm just going to call it h1. And I'm going to say that this is equal to document.createElement. And you can see here I have a whole bunch of options. I'm going to just do quotation marks, h1. So what this will do is that this will go to whatever HTML file that this is linked up to, and it will create a new element on that page. But it hasn't been placed anywhere yet, so I'm going to tell my web page to add this h1 to it. So I'm going to write document.body, and this immediately accesses the body element, and I'm going to tell it to append a child. Append child, and then I'm just going to pass in the h1 that we created. So if I come back over here and I inspect the page, and I look and I open up this body element, I can see that I now have an h1. So let's take this one step further, and I'm going to add some text to this h1. I'm going to write h1 dot inner, and then HTML all in caps equals hello world. So now I will go back and I'll refresh the page, and I can see that it's all linked up because I get this nice hello world text. All right, so now that we have this working, we're going to move forward in the next video and add our HTML elements and write our function so that it runs.